Fantastic. Let me do this. Fantastic. Let me do this. Testing audio. Just talking normally. Fantastic. Let me do this. Testing audio. Okay. It seems just talking normally. Seems to have my computer fans making enough noise for my microphone to pick it up. That's very unfortunate. Well, I'll see if I can figure that out for the future, I guess. Seems to have my computer fans making enough noise for my microphone to pick it up. Let's try with some background audio. Very unfortunate. It's gonna double now for a little bit. I'll see if I can figure that out for the future, I guess. Seems to have my computer fans making enough noise for my microphone to pick it up. Let's try with some background audio. Very unfortunate. It's gonna double now for a little bit. Alright. Seems like if I have the game audio up and running, the fans will not be an issue. Fantastic. And the background logo is lagging like crazy. Why is that? Continually every time. Alright, let's see. It seems like these things are just lagging for now. They seem to stop lagging after a while, but we will be able to deal with that at a later point, eh? So, moving on to the event of today. We will be... Yeah, my microphone is on, yeah. I'll actually just start it, so not the... so that the players can get along the route. Alrighty then. So, what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be casting and watching the games between OtherDawn and Dachi. And we are also going to be doing the live draw for the 40-win tournament number 90. So, in the purple as the red... No, actually red. I have not casted in months. So, apologies if I'm way too rusty. As the purple empire, we got Dachi. And as the orange random Soviets, we got OtherDawn. OtherDawn decided to play random throughout this entire tournament, so I'm very curious to see what factions he gets, as well as if he plays those factions rather well or not. Some early skirmishes and aggressive flag trooper here to deny the dojos from deploying / crushing the Soviet infantries. Dachi not having his mecha bay deployed already, but playing around with his infantry. OtherDawn in the meantime going quickly for the war factory. Here comes the mecha bay, and the infantry is going to start messing around with each other. Dachi trying to get past to see if he can harass OtherDawn a bit, but doesn't get a good enough angle. Still spamming Imperial Warriors for quite a while though. He's gonna clear the garrison, securing the civilian structure, and he's gonna move on to the next building, which does not clear out, so he has to sacrifice a couple more. Overall good trade for OtherDawn though. A 500 profit, so to say. But as the Sickle and the OtherDawn has appeared, the Doji Corps will not be much longer for this world. But the Tengu is here, ready to begin its Tengu harassment. Just one flag trooper in defense, actually. Huh. Both players overall are rather evenly matched. OtherDawn seems to be a slightly bit better than Dachi, but other than that, it should be a rather even matchup between the two. OtherDawn tends to play as the allies, and Dachi does play allies rather well as well, but he's a rather good Empire player. So we shouldn't underestimate that either. OtherDawn has played a lot of Soviets recently, but his main faction is still allies. So I'm not sure if we're gonna see some good Soviet gameplay from OtherDawn here or not, but who knows? Maybe he'll pull something out. Third refinery for both players playing rather patiently here. New barracks coming up for OtherDawn. Dachi being in low power, it seems. The first of many Tengu harassments, as OtherDawn has actually just taken his flag troopers out of the starting refinery, which might cost him an ore collector. However, it will cost Dachi 2 Tengu so far. Will it cost him a third? No? OtherDawn keeping his ore collector offline for a little bit. This seems to be going rather well for Dachi so far. Well, 3 Tengus for a little bit of delay in the ore collectors is not really worth it. Tank busters trying to get a snipe on the ore collector, but the bears are here to deal with the tank busters. Dachi losing a lot of value right now. However, from what it seems here, reading these stats correctly, it seems like Dachi has overall gotten 2,000 cash more than OtherDawn. So the delay has most certainly helped. But it doesn't matter if you're 2,000 cash or even 3,000 cash ahead of your opponent if you keep fucking throwing away your units. Speaking of throwing away your units. Tesla Coil coming up to deny the Tengu harassments. No more Tengu harassments for the time being. VX choppers are out. New dojo on the scene. And he still landed. Well, that's another minus in the Tengu department. The Tank Busters keeps trying. Gets stunned. VX Choppers kills the old Derek for OtherDawn. But, oh, the Bullfrog is here. One VX goes down, but trades its life for the Bullfrog, so the loss is a little bit mitigated a little bit. But the two other Bullfrogs shows up and just takes down the remaining VXs. Overall, Dachi is not playing this as good as he could have been doing. At least he's microing a little bit. Not really sure what he's been doing with most of his units there. Another 5 Tank Busters to try and sabotage this refinery. He doesn't have a lot of Imperial Warriors in this garrison, so it's a little bit difficult to deal with the bears. Oh. Is there gonna be an early battle lab from OtherDawn? So it's gonna be a very early battle lab. Tengu shows up and cleans up the bears, allowing the Tank Busters to not clean up the Ore Collector again. The Hammer Tanks and Bears in combination should have the upper hand here. But OtherDawn doesn't seem to be wanting to make more bears for some reason. So the Dachi is just getting free value right now, overall. What are both players doing in the back pocket? Nothing too special. What about OtherDawn? Nothing too special. Just queuing up a War Factory to block the Tank Busters from fighting. Cleaning up another bear. Tengu's going out to harass the economy again. OtherDawn constantly being put on the defense here. Floating an additional 3,500. He could be spamming a lot more troops than what he currently is. The Tank Buster seems to be wanting to shoot through the walls, even though there is a clear opening here. Bears shows up, but doesn't do too much. Does not get the roar off. And this does not look good for OtherDawn at all. OtherDawn better start spending his money, like holy. Floating 3,000 cash and just losing your further refinery for absolutely free is not great. Dachi could take this opportunity to expand himself. He is going to expand. However, Dachi gotta be careful since OtherDawn still has an army. And Dachi has been throwing away a lot of troops earlier in the match. One well-placed Desolated airstrike right now will be extremely deadly. Is that what we're gonna see here now? Oh yes, there will be a Desolated airstrike. Does Dachi see it? He does. Does he do anything about it though? Barely. Loses one Tank Buster and one Imperial Warrior. The Hammer Tanks move forward. Starting to take some pot shots at the MCV. Having successfully stolen the Tengu's weapon, actually. The Tengu barely lives. The walls barely finish in time. The wall spam is going to be real in this game. OtherDawn is trying to clear out the garrison at the same time as Dachi is trying to fill it up to push OtherDawn back. Emperor's Rage is out. We're already on the third Secret Protocol point in this match. Oh, would you look at that? The Battle Lab is up. That's an early tier 3 for OtherDawn. Wonder if Dachi will see it now, does he? Oh, he doesn't. But he does see the Apocalypse tank, so Tier 3 is not gonna be a surprise anymore, but the Apocalypse tank is most certainly gonna be throwing some rocks into this dance of Dachis. We do not see Tier 3 out from Dachi just yet. Just some VXs, 4 refineries versus 3 refineries. Dachi is getting a massive economy lead here, keeping his oil derrick and managing to not being harassed or attacked by OtherDawn at all throughout this match. He's taken some poor fights here and there and lost a lot of value from so. But it doesn't matter if you just have more money than your enemy. Terror drone trying to be a little bit sneaky here. There's the main nanotech mainframe. So we're gonna get a tier 3 response from Dachi. Tengu's moving out to try and harass once again. Sentry gun and flak cannon is here to defend it. And an Apocalypse tank. V4 rocket launchers. Enjoying their split rockets. But not really aggressively using these. OtherDawn is very passive. What might he be waiting for? I was just microing elsewhere. Dealing with the Tengu harassment. V4's moving forward. Shooting again. Desolate airstrike striking the middle here. The flare is gone. So it will connect, clearing out all of the tank busters. And the other split rocket just connects with the tank busters, killing all but one of them, which is now just stuck in a pit. V4 rocket launchers targeting the mainframe, but Dachi has already gotten his tier 3, so it doesn't matter to Dachi. And down there is the sell-off. No super weapons either as of now. An Iron Curtain would do rather well for OtherDawn right now. We have Force Artillery, gets his shot off, killing the V4 rocket launcher. Split rocket, targeting the barracks. Not doing much. Hey, there's the Iron Curtain actually. So we are getting some super weapons this match, just not from Dachi yet. Dark score coming out, but then Natasha has appeared. Will Natasha get the kill? No, she will barely not. OtherDawn getting all kinds of tier 3 units. No airfield just yet. Split rocket firing off beautifully. King Oni has arrived, taking a little bit of damage here. OtherDawn has his troops rather out of position. Dachi could move forward here, but doesn't seem he wants to. Excuse me. That is sneeze. Natasha getting a nice extended range from the civilian structure, just clearing out that way for artillery. As the V4 from the low ground seems to be force firing upon the ground to prevent Dachi from moving forward. But as he moves forward, he's just going to move into the range of the split rockets. The V4 on the low ground did not die from that wave for artillery, and is still alive, taking its 3 pot shots. Apocalypse tanks not seeming to be very eager to fight here. Pilot snipe coming through, pilot sniping something. Oh, he successfully pilot sniped and stole the King Oni. And OtherDawn just pushes forward, cleaning and wasting the armor of Dachi completely. I thought I saw it, but I am uncertain if the King Oni from OtherDawn here that he stole used the ramming ability against Dachi's own troops. Unfortunate crash land. A Desolate Airstrike is going to get called in again to deal with all of the tank busters that keep spawning. The Dachi needs to shoot the ground with the, or shoot at all with the Waveforce artillery now before the Terror Drone kills it. He does get the shot off. And what happened to the nail yard? Nobody knows. Multiple V4 rocket launchers with split rockets have arrived. One being stuck on the inside as the twin blade shows up. There's the Dox core. Doing absolutely nothing. V4 rocket launcher focus firing down the barracks, I assume, as the twin blades go to harass the economy. Orbital dump doing damage to the instant generator. However, VX is here to show up and force it away. The twin blade will get the kill, however. And where did the V4s go? Oh, the V4s are over there. Just getting cleaned up by the King Oni. I'm not really certain why he's not targeting the MCV right now. It's in the prime location for at least for this V4 to shoot it. But hey, if he doesn't wanna, he doesn't wanna. The MiG cleans up the Tengu, allowing the heroic twin blade to roam freely without any challenges. Dachi, remaining in low power, will be unable to spend his 4,000 cash in the bank. OtherDawn seems to be just having the time of his life, trolling it against Dachi this match or something, because he's floating 7,000 cash and not really taking this fight seriously. I believe OtherDawn sees that he has won the match and wants to just toy with his opponent, but that might cost him dearly later in the match should Dachi recover. The twin blades show up and cleans up another ore collector. 2 MiGs, 3 MiGs will be able to deal with quite a lot of Tengus, so he's not fearing any Tengu fights against the to save the twin blades. Yeah, no, honestly, OtherDawn seems to just straight up. Oh no, he has been spending his money now. What has he been spending his money on? Oh, he's gotten himself 2 airfields to get a lot of twin blades and MiGs out. I see. Alright. OtherDawn is now preparing to get a kill army here. To finish the job. There's 1 VX here holding the line, but if before twin blades, it's not gonna hold anything. The MiGs will clean out all the Tengus very easily, and the twin blades will just clean up the rest. OtherDawn, Dachi does not have any more anti-air, so these twin blades and MiGs will just win him the game right now. The Iron Curtain is ready for use as well, so his Apocalypse Tanks could just push through. And that will be game. Game number 1 goes to OtherDawn. Even though he trolls a little bit, he did do rather well. And it seems to have crashed my game as well. Fantastic. Let's just do this for a little bit then. I will actually need to have to update this bracket later on as well. Anyways, let's relaunch the game. Fantastic. Moving on to game number 2. Let's update the score as well. Plus 1 point to OtherDawn. The map choice of Dachi was Infinity Island. The same colors for Dachi and OtherDawn. However, OtherDawn still playing random, and this time he got Empire. So we'll have an Empire mirror match. But OtherDawn knows that is a mirror match. Dachi does not. So that OtherDawn could do some cheeky stuff here to try and get a little bit of an advantage on his opponents. But he'll probably just, yeah, he just gets spotted by the burst drone and game's up. However, seems like OtherDawn is going to prepare for the sudden transport tank buster play. Will we see the same response from Dachi? We will. Both players seems to be planning to get the sudden transport to harass the other person's economy. Dachi, on the other hand, has successfully gotten into OtherDawn's base. Will he? No, he will not be able to deploy in time. And he just drives off into the sunset. Oh, he actually does deploy. Interesting. Clears out the garrison building, preventing anyone from using them. Missing a wall here, Dachi. There we go. And Dachi does not sell the building. No, he does. Barely. Getting some money back. But no kill on the tank busters. Nothing too spicy just yet. Walls being sold off, allowing the burst drone to be killed. Curious to see what if either of them is going to try and go tier 2 at some point throughout this match. Quite often in Empire versus Empire matches, it will just remain at Tengu spam. As in, whoever has the most will win the fight. Which is usually why they will be less aggressive matches, as the Tengus will be in larger numbers on the defense and not the offense. OtherDawn looking for the harassment opportunity, but doesn't seem to find one. Where is the Sun Transport hiding from Dachi, actually? Or OtherDawn, I mean. Finds the Sun Transport from Dachi at the very least. Seriously though. Okay, one Tengu goes down. Dachi now has a Tengu advantage. It might just be one Tengu, but a Tengu advantage is a Tengu advantage nonetheless. He goes for the harassment in return. Harassing both ore collectors at the same time. Oh, there it is. And he does lose one Tengu. Yeah, he does lose two Tengus. So he went from having a Tengu advantage to having a Tengu disadvantage. Well. And that is most of the... that is all of the tank busters cleaned up as well. So now OtherDawn has a major advantage. As well as being on the harassment front on both ore collectors at the same time. No honorable discharge? What has OtherDawn picked up? Oh, he hasn't picked up anything. He's playing without honorable discharge altogether. Interesting. Perhaps he's waiting to get Sleeper Ambush. It's a bit odd, but we'll see if he gets something out of it. However, he's missed out on at least 3 guaranteed explosions in the enemy base. Another Tengu going to try and sneak in. but it will most likely be immediately detected. But Dachi does not respond as well as he could have, but he will still get the kill. Dachi, on the other hand, is succeeding with his invasion of the harassment. And the Tengus collapse from OtherDawn, one after another, and just getting wasted. This is a transport disguising itself as the enemy Tengu. Point defense rounds coming down from Dachi now. Point defense rounds response from OtherDawn. One ore collector has been killed, so OtherDawn is going to slowly lose the match now, as long as Dachi doesn't lose too many Tengus here. As Dachi will be getting an economy lead. However, he does seem to go for wanting to go for the trade. Tengus moving forward to try and utilize their honorable discharge. However, Dachi just losing all of his Tengus in the fight. Beautiful split from both players, however OtherDawn does it a little bit better. Dachi losing all of his stuff, but OtherDawn goes for an MCV cell. He is desperate in the move right now to go for a win. OtherDawn with his tank busters shows up to deal with the ore collector. The ore collector gets a beautiful honorable discharge onto these Tengus, making them a bit more tricky to use forward. The Imperial Warrior will get a kill on the tank buster there, which is a bit unfortunate. In the meantime, Dachi's Tengus are returning home. Tier 2 has come out for both players, so we will see some tsunami tanks in the mix now. Both players being down to 1 refinery economy and no oil lyric. Both players have gone for the MCV cell as well. So there will be no rebuilding any buildings that they lose now. However, OtherDawn is still the only one that has tank busters left. But Dachi has an engineer. So there's one VX. OtherDawn wanting to take the fight. One Tengu moving forward here to go for the harassment in the meantime, as OtherDawn takes a lot of pot shots from the VX, almost losing a Tengu. Both players being very, very low on economy. OtherDawn cannot afford to lose this ore collector. Every bit of HP matters right now. But right now, honestly, Dachi just should remain on the defense, wait for OtherDawn to come to him and be out of position, and then move in with his engineer and try and get a sell-off on the refinery or on the war factory. However, that has not happened yet. Both players just waiting, biding their time. This is why most people will say that Empire mirror matches are boring. The engineer is going to try and capture it. The sell-off has taken place and the engineer does not even get killed. So another attempt of a capture of the power plant will go through, and he succeeds with the capture of the power plant. Not that it really matters. At this point, Dachi only needs to succeed in his defense here and hold it. If he can, then he wins the match. If not, then it will go to OtherDawn. However, Dachi can sacrifice as many troops as he likes, as OtherDawn can't rebuild any. However, Dachi does have the number advantage right now. He needs to get a VX out, and he needs to get it out now. He gets a tsunami tank out, which will just get cleaned up rather rapidly, so he needs to utilize the repair drums from the war factory here. He does manage to keep it alive as the Tengus clean up one of the tsunami tanks. Trying to utilize honorable discharge on both fronts here as the tsunami tank fails to get the kill on the heroic Tengu, but the repair drones are going to be proved to be very difficult for OtherDawn to get through. The War Factory will keep that tsunami tank alive and well, and this does not look great for OtherDawn. I have heroic tsunami tanks, and that's game over. OtherDawn loses the match to Dachi, tying up the score 1-1. Let me update this score. Neat. Unfortunately, with Battle Scry, as I got some info from the developer of it, it does not allow me to smoothly or like update the score in between the matches. So I have to be in the replay to update the score. So I have to start it and then update the score. Then can't do it before. But that is one of the downsides for live streaming. Not so much of a downside for recording. In any case, Dachi spawns in as the Purple Empire on Liberty. No, was it Liberty? Don't remember. Liberty Freeze or something, I think. And OtherDawn gets Soviets yet again from random. Opting to go for 2 flag strippers at the beginning here. Doesn't even lose a single flag stripper here. Just damn. Dachi, what are you doing, my guy? But I won't. Both players getting their oil derrick. The banzai charges are out to prevent stuns from the bears. Sickle is here to deal with the Imperial Warrior. But the flag trooper is dealing with the burst drone, so that unfortunately the burst drone can't deal with the sickle. Mecha Bay has been deployed, but as far as I can see, no Tengus are out on the map. 2 flag troopers starts to clean up the oil derrick as the sickle moves backwards. Interesting. First Tengu out immediately goes across the map to try and return the favor of harassment, as OtherDawn immediately goes for the super reactor. And a terror drone. The first sickle jump fails to land on the inside of the walls. 3 sickles, 1 terror drone, and a massive dream. On the other side of the map, the Tengu will start its harassment. I'll actually click on the ore collector so we see if it dies or not. 1 sickle lands on the inside and cleans up one of the Tengus with the help of the terror drone's lockdown ability. Ore collectors returning to full activity as the flag trippers try to join the fight, but they just straight up perish. But the terror drone prevents the sickles from the Tengus from escaping, but the sickles will win the fight against the Tengus. The 2 sickles decide to coordinate on the ore collector, but that will just result in the sickle perishing, which is a bit unfortunate. In the meantime, the terror drone successfully infects the Tengu in the enemy base here, as the dojo gets deployed on the high ground to prevent a third expansion. Burst drone remains on the ore collector here, moves over to the hammer tank to just not die, as the ore collector makes its escape. Sickle gets cleaned up, and that's it for OtherDawn's early aggression. However, OtherDawn has successfully gotten his tier 2 out, as well as he's moving to expand to the high ground, where he will just find tank busters. Without bears or sickles, that will be a difficult area to try and deploy in. Speaking of the bear just dying. Terror drones dealing with the burst drone on one of the hammer tanks. No more tank busters being made on the front line, just more Tengus. OtherDawn stockpiling a bit of money, probably a little bit uncertain of what he wants to get or do. No, he wants to get his barracks up and running to get some bears to deal with the tank busters most likely. Tengu's moving forward to deal with the ore collectors, as well as OtherDawn deciding to go for a something. Doesn't seem like he wanted to go for base race after all. Ends up microing in the base. OtherDawn with no income as of right now besides the old Eric. Moves a little bit forward, moves his hammer tank backwards, so his units are a bit out of position on the front line. The tank busters taking some pot shots at the MCV. The economy of OtherDawn is still running, but it's going to fall if this keeps up. Doesn't matter if it's gonna fall if Dachi's just gonna lose all of his Tengus like that. Hammer tank on the high ground. Bear gets the stun off of a couple of tank clusters. I hear a flare. Flare. Desolated the airstrike forces the ore collector to move back out, preventing him from collecting money, but it does give Dachi an excuse to go for repairs on his ore collector, which might have been a little bit of a mistake. There we go. Tier 2 here for Dachi as well now. One hammer tank gets fully cleaned up. The Tengu is still alive, but is not going to be able to do much for a little while. No VX losses as of now. Has the MCV moved anywhere? No. But we do have a crane to repair the ore collectors now. Or even crush the MCV. 3 bullfrogs is going to make it very difficult for the VXs to move forward to deal with these hammer tanks. Tengu gets cleaned up. And as the wall go down, so does the ore collector. The cell on the refinery has come through. Dachi is moving his VXs to the other side of the map to make a move. For some reason he decides to target the hammer tank instead of a production building. He wants to equalize it in troops, I guess. Just guaranteed value. Targets the crane as the MCV has expanded. It hasn't been crushed or anything. So he just sells it off. Down goes the bullfrog. He should have, in all honesty, ignored the hammer tanks and just force fired right here to hit the war factory at the same time as killing any bullfrog that pops out. But I guess that is not what Dachi wanted to do. Oh. A bit of loading the replay. Interesting. Dachi has a grand in the bank. Oh, never mind. Loading the replay. Game over. Immediately, Dachi surrenders as he has realized that it's no longer possible for him to win. A bit of a mistake there. He should have used the VXs to kill the War Factory as well as Force Fire to kill the Bullfrogs that would pop out, and then moved over to kill the Crane, and then moved around the map to threaten to kill the MCV and whatnot to push OtherDawn a bit backwards. Kill the Hammer Tank or two if he could. But he was one refinery down, so it would have been difficult for him nevertheless. Moving over to game number 4. Let's update the scoring in. So now we have a score of 2-1 to OtherDawn. We're moving over to industrial strength. As the Purple Empire, we got Dachi again. And this time, OtherDawn gets random allies. His main faction. So, come on, OtherDawn. Show us what you are capable of with your main faction compared to all of your side factions, eh? Fast airfield with not too aggressive, trying to take the oil derricks. First round moving out to figure out what he's up against. He will try and secure the garage if he can. One Vindicator out. Refinery gets deployed. Is he gonna go tier 2? Is he gonna go for the cryo? Rush. He has wall it off, so he might. Indicators. Yeah, this is gonna be a cryo, isn't it? No? Never mind. He just flew into the base instead of bombing some stuff out here. Alright. The Vindicator not really getting a lot of value here. Doing absolutely nothing. Ah! It's a late cryo rush. Gotcha. Alright, one bombing run going through. 2 Apollos in the sky, making it very hard for Tengus to go up. Another Defender VX coming out as he sees that something fishy is going on here. OtherDawn doesn't seem to have too much money. Sells off a couple of walls to help with the economy. Even though it's so little, it will not even matter. Cryocopter shrinks the MCV. It's gonna go for an MCV push as well. Oof. This is not looking good for Dachi right now. However, 2 turrets is gonna make it very difficult for the Apollos to remain near his base. And now we can see the cryo. MCV has arrived. The Imperial Warrior is chasing it, having the time of his life. MCV doing nothing really. Cryocopter going to freeze the oil direct to try and sabotage some of Dachi's economy. Since Dachi will run ahead with the economy should OtherDawn keep ignoring the oil derricks for an extended period of time. No multi-gunner turret is getting built just yet. 3 Apollos out. 3, 6, 7 Tengus. He is almost at the Tengu numbers he needs to take that fight head on. He wants to. He is at 8. A new airfield has popped out. He's not selling the old one, so he's just going to get more Apollos. Instead, he's going to go for the harassment. That seemed to have might have been an instant turn. Or a turn that I didn't react to in time. Nonetheless, the Tengus and Apollos are going to take a fight head on, cleaning up a lot of the aircraft from OtherDawn. Apollos from the other airfield is going to reinforce this now, making it more difficult for Dachi to fight in this area. However, Dachi still has a ridiculous amount of Tengus in the sky. He's trying to find the cryocopter somewhere around. He has found it, and down it goes. He lands, preventing the Apollos from doing any more damage as he keeps making more Tengus at home. Imperial Warrior moves forward to camp the airfield and moves the other one across the map to do the very same thing. Or all 3 of them, actually. Flies the Tengus alongside the edge of the map. OtherDawn does not look very good right now. He sells off his airfield as he cannot utilize it. 3 Apollos can't do anything about the Tengus if they land. So right now, Dachi can just straight up land on the MCV, sacrifice all of them with honorable discharge, and kill the MCV should he so want to. However, he will go for the kill on the power instead, as OtherDawn needs to make a choice. Defensive multi-gunner turret or an aggressive multi-gunner turret. The multi-gunner turret choice was aggressive. He'll get 1 Tengu kill. He will get 2 Tengu kills from the injured ones. But that is not gonna really make a difference here. The kill on this power plant will turn off the multi-gunner turrets, but it does not seem like Dachi has noticed that just yet. He will avoid... No, he does lose 1 Tengu. And here comes the Vindicator, trading another 1 down. And that puts... Oh, new power plant. OtherDawn keeps building power plants on the front. That should be a hint to Dachi that he needs to kill the power plant. Down it goes. He does lose 3 of his Tengus to the cryo shot, as he doesn't move them around or micro them at all for some reason. He decides to kill the turret that is keeping him in low power. Not really certain of why, as that just speeds up the production speed for OtherDawn right now. Could have damaged it and left it at red health to force OtherDawn to wait if he didn't sell the turret. Point of phone's drone gets a nice clean kill on the Apollo. And it seems OtherDawn has thrown in the towel, as Dachi just got way too many Tengus there. Successfully dealing with a delayed cryo rush and showing it how it should be done. Not perfectly done, but good job nonetheless. And let's move over to the ace match then, as Dachi did bring the score to 2-2. For the final match between Dachi and OtherDawn, OtherDawn has gotten random Soviets, which seems to be the faction that he wins the most with. So this does not bode well for Dachi. And I gotta say, I am a bit unimpressed by OtherDawn's gameplay on the industrial strength, as OtherDawn's main faction is allies, and he really did not perform. Nevertheless, his Soviet gameplay today has been rather well, as Dachi has been struggling to deal with the Soviet shenanigans that OtherDawn has been doing. May this be his redeeming match, or will OtherDawn showcase how unstoppable he is with the Soviet faction against Dachi? The bear tries to roar, it fails, as the Imperial Warrior manages to get in time. Bear sneaks into the back line and starts camping the barracks. Gets 1 kill. Immediately starts getting value, as Dachi is preoccupied on the front line trying to micro here. Only the Luci's dojo and Imperial Warriors immediately. The bear is still camping here, getting lots and lots of value. As Dachi seems to be wanting to go for a Mekabe a bit more aggressively pushed out. Interesting. Well, if OtherDawn rushes in with a sickle here now... Oh, actually even just a terror drone, there's no walls. Interesting. Speaking of walls, OtherDawn is also missing some. OtherDawn builds his way towards the third refinery, gets his super reactor on the way, has a terror drone, but no sickles as I can see. Third refinery up and going for Dachi. He will get an economy lead, however he will be a bit behind in troops. is low power for the time being, so he will not be producing at his fastest. Trades a lot of Imperial Warriors to secure the building, just for the Imperial Warriors to get cleared out by the Molotov cocktails. And it seems to have been a successful stun of the Imperial Warriors, but the Imperial Warriors still got into the building, so they remained in the stun state, not shooting out of the building. Since, for those that don't know, if you use the ability on the Imperial Warrior, you switch to temporarily, you move into the building, and it will keep the sword and attack very short. Something similar will happen to, you know, a bear stun or dog stun, where the unit may end up going into the building, but still be stunned and as such not shoot. Conscripts deciding to just clear out the walls. Dachi desperately trying to just hold the OtherDawn backwards for the time being. But he is going to lose cash on the wall trade, but it will take him some time before he loses it completely. The economy of Dachi has now been sabotaged beautifully. OtherDawn wants to go. The Imperial Warriors are running towards there, as they will... Oh, he will find it. He gets the infect on the Ore Collector. That is what Dachi gets for not building walls, but he does trade into a Bullfrog, so at least he mitigates the damages. OtherDawn expands the distance between the two by getting the cash bounty. The Terror Drone will successfully escape, but will he micro it? Yes, he will. Will he get away? No. No, he won't. He could have gotten away. Nevertheless, honestly, fill this building with some flag troopers or something. You got the cash for it on the run, and then just leave them on an aggressive stance to just keep shooting the walls. Anyways, hammer tanks and conscripts pushing and pressuring Dachi's MCV, and the VX is trying to trade in the main base. Trading one Bullfrog from one VX is not a good trade for two VXs instead. OtherDawn just cleaning house with Dachi here. Honestly, it does not look like there's much that Dachi can do right now. They're both on 3 refineries, but OtherDawn is just playing better. A lot better. But people have done stupid things before. Like that, reverse moving the Terror Drone into the hammer tanks. The walls are making it more difficult for the hammer tanks to escape, however, so the tsunami tanks and the tank busters will get some clean kills here. Killing 2 hammer tanks, no? No, there's the 2. 3 hammer tanks and 1 Bullfrog. Both parties getting a little bit buggy with these walls. Shooting the civilian structure and shooting the troops. The MCV is severely injured, however, so he needs to be very careful, as the OtherDawn's MCV is going to his 5th refinery expansion. Tengu's moving in to harass, as the OtherDawn hammer tank business is remaining steady on the front line. Temporarily disabling 66% of his income is a-okay if you're getting free value here. However, one Tengu does die. VX tries to be sneaky. OtherDawn doesn't do much, as Dachi moves forward with his infantry and tsunami tanks and gets a few kills here. Oh, that was a sneaky bear. I didn't even see it. Damn. Bear gets a nice killing kill as the garrison focus fires the tank buster. However, there's not a lot of conscripts in it, so it will not get all of them. The VX moves forward to shoot on the construction yard. Yeah, no, the Bullfrog will get there in time. OtherDawn is playing a bit risky here with the MCB. Actually, 5th refinery. I mean 4th refinery. My bad. I can't seem to count. What is Dachi trying here? Yeah, he's just trying to go for the harassments and the sabotages here. Trying to split OtherDawn's main army away here. Tengu's goes in for the harassments on the economy again as the VXs find an opening on the MCV yet again. Moves forward, the Bullfrogs and Flag Troopers turn around, only to find the tsunami tanks nearby. They focus fire the MCV, doing basically nothing, and threatens the Bullfrogs. Another Tengu goes down. No, he gets away. Forcing OtherDawn to spend some money on the engineer is just overall good value. However, will that translate into something bigger? One Tengu goes down from the Bullfrogs. Another one goes down to the Hammer Tank. And the crane is out, ready to repair all the ore collectors. The Hammer Tanks has successfully stolen a Tsunami Tank's weapon already. The Bear moves forward, successfully stuns 2 of the Tank Busters. And 2 Hammer Tanks now have dual wielding weapons. The VXs move forward, cleans up all of the remaining Bullfrogs, but there's a Flak Trooper somewhere hidden in here, cleaning up the remaining... Oh, there he is! Cleaning up the remaining VXs, as the Hammer Tank cleans up the remaining Tsunami Tanks trying to push forward. Dachi had a good attack opportunity there, but he didn't manage to do much with it, as OtherDawn defended it rather well. That Tengu has killed a lot. I haven't really seen a lot of support powers yet. What has people chosen? OtherDawn has chosen to go into the Desolate Airstrike. Doesn't have really used much besides Cash Bounty. Point Defense Drones is available to Dachi, but he doesn't have it on a lot of troops currently. Well, that's fair considering that they're all getting shot down for absolutely free. Tengu's moving forward to harass yet again, but getting absolutely no value as the 2 Hammer Tanks defending are having dual wielding guns. That Ore Collector almost died though. Bullfrog will go down. I'm actually amazed, since Dachi has successfully collected 5,000 cash more than OtherDawn throughout this. But considering, but considering that he's just lost so many Tengus here and there, it genuinely doesn't really matter. Oh, there we got the tier 3 out from OtherDawn, forcing the MCB to pack up. No more wall shenanigans in the middle. No more delaying the Soviet push. The Armageddon is here. Meantime, that is not a Sputnik. That is just bears checking for any cheeky refineries. Multiple walls getting crushed and killed by the B4 rocket launchers. Point of reference drone, very nicely deployed on multiple units. Question is he going to be able to do anything with it, or is he just going to lose it, so to say? The Apocalypse Tank wants to break through the walls. If the Apocalypse Tank just goes here and use the magnetic harpoon on the MCV, that will allow the V4 rocket launcher to use a split rocket on it. Well, it hit the dojo. It might be targeting the dojo. It is targeting the dojo. Tengus landing on the bullfrogs, cleans up one bullfrog, cleans up nothing else. Gets one hammer tank in the trade, gets another bullfrog. Almost losing the VXs, however, kills another bullfrog. The Apocalypse tank is crushing on the other side of the map, however, so this is not going great for Dachi. Even though he was doing a great trade here, he has no troops at home. He loses his further refinery, his VXs are not doing anything. Starts to clean up the Apocalypse tank, but will lose the power plant. In the meantime, Dachi is trying to kill the Ore Collector. The Ore Collector will escape for the time being, as the Conscript will be able to get a kill. No? Never mind. He is satisfied with just killing the single veterancy one. Tankbuster cleans up another bullfrog. Seems like a V4 got killed or something. Tengus return home. VX is in a large group. And 3 refineries online versus 2 remaining ones. But do we have on Emperor's Rage? Still just regular Desolate the Airstrike. No Desolate the Airstrike used either. Emperor's Rage is available, so he could do some really nasty damage. But he needs to be very careful. OtherDawn opting to build the Iron Curtain. As the Bullfrog tries to find an opening, the V4 rocket launcher succeeds in killing the Oil Derrick. However, the Tengus and the VXs will be able to kill the V4 rocket launcher. Desolate the Airstrike gets thrown down on the Ore Collector in the main base. Not really doing anything but sabotaging. The Terror Drone gets in on the other refinery here. One Ore Collector goes down for OtherDawn as well. No Emperor's Rage as of now. Emperor's Rage on the Tengus, trying to fight the Hammer Tanks head on. He can do it, but he will not be able to escape as easily. So the Bullfrogs will be able to get one Tengu on the cleanup there. However... Oh, no, actually, Dachi has rebuilt his third refinery. Dachi is, however, in low power, so he is not producing at his maximum speed, but it doesn't matter because he barely has money. Both players have now gotten very even amount of money, so OtherDawn should be in a bit of an advantage position as he has lost less troops over the match. But he still has lost a lot of troops. Ore Collector getting forced to pause its economy for a little bit, but the Tengu gets traded in. This Ore Collector was never repaired, so it just immediately gets killed, giving Dachi a bit of an advantage here. Ore Collector moving somewhere. Did he had... Oh, right, because this refinery got killed. He had an extra Ore Collector. I was very confused there for a second. With the Iron Curtain ready in 50 seconds, this might be the very final push against Dachi's base. 4 Hammer Tanks, 1 V4, and 5 Bullfrogs is gonna most certainly be able to do a lot of damage here. Mainframe core coming out. V4 rocket launcher reaching the refinery. Very unfortunate for Dachi. And if OtherDawn is smart now, he will immediately target this mecha bay right afterwards, preventing any unit production, as he can just simply Iron Curtain the V4 rocket launcher. They can't do it for another 10 seconds, so he can still lose it. He does target it. The Hammer Tanks and Apocalypse Tanks move forward. The V4 rocket launcher decides to target the mecha bay. The Iron Curtain becomes activated. bit early, in all honesty. In any case, the magnetic harpoon targets the MCV, preventing it from escaping. The final squadron comes down, doing absolutely nothing besides hitting friendly walls. As this will be game for Dachi, and Dachi will go on to be eliminated from the tournament. For the win, 90. However, Dachi does still have a couple of troops, so he can make something work. However, there's just simply too many bullfrogs for him to succeed in doing so. OtherDawn really can just start building flak cannons and Tesla coils all around his base and be A-OK. And down goes the MCV. Which means once the remaining walls have been killed, there will be no more walls. Trying to clear out the remaining bullfrogs, but failing to do so. And there goes the... well, all but one. Oh no, there he goes. There's the GG. And OtherDawn takes the game and moves up. It's kind of funny how you get the losing music whenever you're done watching a replay. In any case, that will put OtherDawn up in the brackets. I will, however, have to do the live draw. Let's see, where is that? Random draw. I believe it's this one. Does it overlay it? No, it's not that one. Should be this one. Random draw. Ah, it's on that one. Gotcha. Let's go fetch the names of the people that participated in the event. We got... Oh, how do I interact with this again? Shalom. No, random draw. Interact, thank you. It's a bit weird seeing a Soviet symbol in the middle, but oh well. Or rather free world builder, I guess. Anyways. Let's see who wins. What was the prize pool for the random draw? It was $10. Who gets to go home with $10 extra or just $10? Oh. Congratulations to Maximus for winning $10. We're gonna get rich today. We're gonna eat big. Don't spend it all on McDonald's. Alright. Very well done. Random draw gone. Game. Very well done. I will be heading off for tonight, doing some other shenanigans. I should probably be getting a little bit back into casting some of the games, and hopefully I will be able to arrange some more live matches for when the tournaments are actually taking place rather than after the tournaments in the future. We will see. But for the time being, have a lovely evening.